Hello, this is Grant Hughes of Grant Hughes Investigates on YouTube. Please hit that like button, share, and subscribe if you like this video. Today's video is regarding how Thomas Crooks could be in two places at one time, or was he? I've noticed that in the media, they don't really do the type of looking into things as people out on social media do, and maybe they just don't really care, or nor do they have the time, because it does take a long time to do some of the things that we're doing here. Now, yesterday I put out a video showing you exactly where Thomas Crooks was in the new video that was released when he's walking around, I believe at 426 or 427. He's walking around in the concession area of the Trump rally that was on July 13th, 2024 in Butler, Pennsylvania. And this was around 426 or 427. They put in the image or the video, but there's no time frame that we see on the video itself. I think it was a regular cell phone video, and it just doesn't have the time on it, like almost all cell phone videos. They just don't have the time sitting there on the screen. So what I am going to do is verify the time that was claimed in that video. Now, I have a software program called 3D Studio Max that I pay around $1,600 a year to have. I think it's even more now, maybe $1,700. And it really has some amazing features in it. For example, I have another window that pops out. This part over here is what you're seeing right there. I have it set at 1626, and 426 is the time that the video claims that was shot of Thomas Crooks. And what we're referring to is this image right here. Let me move this out of the way. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. It's fine right there. So this is Thomas Crooks, and they say that this image was at 426. Now, see the shadow angle that he has right there? I'm trying to determine if it's consistent with what 3D Studio Max comes up with. Now, I like to show people how I do things. So what I did was I made sure, so if you rotate it in Google Earth like that and you hit the R key, it makes everything north-south oriented. All right? So everything's north-south oriented, and so I zoom in to the area where Thomas Crooks was, and I believe he was right, yeah, he was right around in this area right here. And I just did a screenshot, but I removed that off of it, so it's just a clear image. So I did a screenshot, and I saved the image out at really, like, I think it was 8,000 by, 8,192 by 4,320, so that it's pretty clear. And then I brought it into 3D Studio Max, keeping the same orientation, north-south. And in 3D Studio Max, it looks like this. There's a sun system in there. You see that right there? Depending on the time of day you put in, that little gizmo right there will shift around. I mean, I guess if I just make it like 20, watch. Okay, so that would make it 8 o'clock in the evening. All right, so we'll go back to 16, and let me move this back into view so you can see it, but there's 16, and let me show you the 20 again. You go to 20, and it rotates it around. It actually just imitates the sun movement on the screen, and accurately will show us where the sun angle is and shadows. All right, now I put a camera down on the ground. The video's taken from an angle like this, and Thomas Crooks is right in this location. And I have a camera set up here. Now, if we look through the camera, that's what I have it set up as. And if we go back to this, there you go. You have a similar angle on the road going by, and there is the shadow. So let's get back to 3D Studio Max, and let me click on the daylight system here. Now I've got it set for 426 or 1626 military time, and also it's at July 13th. You see right there, month 7, July 13th, 2024. It's -5 time zone, but it's also daylight savings time, so in effect it removes an hour. If I turned that off and made that -4 UTC, it would be the same. All right, but I'm just going to keep it at -5 and then daylight savings time. And I put in the decimal version, as you can see right here, of Butler, Pennsylvania. And let's just type it in with what it has right there just to see if it's close. Let me go back to this program here and we'll just type it in and see where it puts us. So we've got 40.854. Go to Google Earth, put that in there as the first portion, and then let's go back and put in -79.975, and let's see where it puts us. See, right there. So basically right at this location is where the coordinates are set, and you can see it's right next to where Thomas Crooks was, which was right here. Okay, so we know that that is very, very accurate. Everything is set up correctly. So again, latitude 40.854, longitude -79.975, daylight savings time -5, UTC, July 13th, 2024, and the time is 4:26. Now, when I render this, this is what it looks like. Right here. All right, I just rendered that. Let me do it again. I don't know if it'll put it on the other screen. No, there it won't. So there you go. I rendered it, and there's the shadow. Okay, so that looks pretty consistent just right there. But I took that same shadow and I placed it over the scene of Thomas Crooks, and this is what it looks like. I made it somewhat transparent. Now here's the shadow, and up here his head is sticking out a little bit further. But it looks like right there, if you just compare the distance between these areas, it's exactly the same, it looks like. So I think that this time is very accurate, that 4:26 appears to be the correct time, and I'm comfortable saying that that is what time it is. Okay, now let's take a look at some of the documents associated with this. So here is where people are confused, because if that was 4:26, here in one of the Grassley PDF files that are out there, it says, and this is a text message, someone followed our lead and snuck and parked by our cars, just so you know. I'm just letting you know because you see me go out with my rifle and put it in my car, so he knows you guys are up there. He's sitting to the direct right on the picnic table, about 50 yards from the exit. But how do we know that this person right here is Thomas Crooks? I mean, I know it's in the documents, but so is the bike. The bike's in the documents. The bike has nothing to do with Thomas Crooks. So is this a text message related to somebody else at 4:27? I think it's very, very possible that this isn't even Thomas Crooks. And I would say likely not him. So here is a timeline that was in those documents. 9 o'clock in the morning, briefing by Butler County ESU, Washington County ESU, etc. And then it says 10:15, Beaver County ESU in place, but let's just kind of move forward. 10:30, snipers are in place, and 5:10, first observed subject by, and then somebody's name, walked by the window. That's at 5:10. That isn't 4:26. They don't mention that they observed him at 4:26. And then at 5:34, Butler County sniper texts Butler team. 5:38, sends text to sniper group about the suspect. So this is 5:38. 5:40, response text, call it into command. 5:41, called into command by an individual about suspect Butler 4 command frequency 4 Sierra 2 to command communicated description and rangefinder lurking around AGR building. And that's 5:41. Then 5:45, text sent to Beaver ESU group command about suspect and to relay to command. I mean, just reading this is just ridiculous that they have so many people texting back and forth, but not one of these people went out to confront him. That's why I say get rid of this texting crap. Just you either make a phone call or you go directly to the suspect. 5:45, text sent to Beaver ESU group command about suspect. 5:49, communication regarding suspect in pictures. 5:55, acknowledges receipt and passes it on to command. 5:59, Sent a command asking for direction of travel. 6 o'clock asking for direction of travel for suspect. They're unsure of the direction. So apparently the suspect that everybody keeps talking about, nobody wanted to keep following. At 6:05, approximately, suspect is at picnic tables and moving direction of sheets. He has backpack, and that was communicated via radio. So he's by the picnic tables and he's walking around, and I think that is probably one of the biggest issues that they had, was that Crooks was sitting on a picnic table right here, and he went around like this. It's possible that the sniper that visualized him doing that, or saw him do that, thought that there was an opening over here and went towards sheets right over here, and that's why police were over in this area looking around and then moving in this direction. And the whole time Crooks was actually back here, went up on the roof, and was making his way into this area. All right, let's keep moving through these. And then at 6:06 to 6:12, an individual goes downstairs of building 1 to meet patrol. So one of the snipers went downstairs to meet patrol to let them know the suspect is around the building on the side of the fairgrounds. And then one marked vehicle and unmarked vehicle pull in together. 8:12, shots are fired. And then 8:23, some officers climb back tactical ladder to law enforcement of building 3, door to the roof. And then at 6:25, pronounced dead on arrival. So this is 6:23. They use a tactical ladder and get up there. But there were people up on the roof earlier than that. They were up there only at probably like, I think it was 6:15, 6:16. And right here it says suspect first spotted right there. And that's that wall where those photographs were taken. And that's right here. And I think that was around 5:10, right? Let's go back into that timeline. Right here, yeah, 5:10, first observed suspect. All right, so that's the first time they're saying that they saw him. Suspect first spotted at 5:10. And that's right here, these 2 photographs taken. And then it says right here, suspect first spotted, that's 5:10, and then last known position right here, which is after 5:10, obviously, just given the time frame. And apparently that person observed him walking around in this direction. So I am of the opinion that the time on the video that was given by whoever put that video out is correct, and that merely that first text is the one that was incorrect. Remember, yesterday we figured out exactly where Thomas Crooks was based on that image right there. So if we go back to this text, someone followed our lead and snuck in and parked by our cars, just so you know. I'm just letting you know because you see me go out with my rifle and put it in my car, so he knows you guys are up there. He's sitting to the direct right on a picnic table about 50 yards from the exit. It's also possible, maybe these text messages were sent earlier but not received because they said that the cell towers weren't working. So maybe this is Crooks, but at an earlier time. And it could just be that this is a different person that went in there and they're just giving a heads up. We don't really know if this right here is related, but Thomas Crooks was walking in the fairgrounds or near where the concession area was at around 4:26, and therefore he couldn't be in this position over here. Depending on the timing, let's say he saw him at 4:15 and he's just now finally getting the text out. We don't know if this was actually sent out right at that time. Maybe Thomas Crooks was there at 4 o'clock when he was doing the drone, right? So maybe at 4 o'clock when he was flying the drone, he was in that area, and then he drove over and parked the car near, and maybe even in the rally area where everybody else parked. Because if you look at the video that he's in, you can see it's a parking area in the grass. So maybe he parked over there at 4:10 after being over here and then started walking back. It could even have been as late as like 4:18, and this would be a valid text right here. So maybe at like 4:18 he's over here and he drives away and eventually just parks near the rally area. You would think it'd be really slow and backed up traffic, so that might be difficult, but let's just say it wasn't, and he parked over there, and now you see him walking back towards the area. But then where's his backpack at this point? It's pretty interesting stuff. I mean, where is Thomas Crooks' backpack in that picture? 426. He doesn't have it. Is it in the vehicle that he parked somewhere over there, or is it in a van? Did he actually have access to the van and a different vehicle? Wouldn't that be interesting if that's the case? But anyways, leave me a comment in the comment section what you think. I think this pretty much debunks that he's in two places at one time. I feel like the text message can be explained. It's either not him or it was something that happened maybe 15, 20 minutes earlier, and now he's getting around to texting about it. But for certain, when you look at this image right here, this is very consistent with 426. See that? Right there. All right, so thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. Please leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about it. And also hit the like button, please, and share the video. Again, thank you for watching. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there.